Yeah, I'm doing live for the first time. I welcome you all for our 45-day challenge for CM1 examinations 2026. So I'll wait for a minute because normally in live streaming, when YouTube gives notification, it takes a bit of time. Yeah, this is my first class, first YouTube live. Even I'm not sure whether it's working or not. Just I'm starting. Let's see how it goes. Coming to this one, if you see this is the formula I'll talk today. So what we can do is we'll focus on here, this formula. And remember, this formula is not valid if the interest rate is simple. This is the formula if the interest rate is compounding interest rate. Okay, this formula you remember. Let me take it here. This is the formula. Okay. So again, I'll go to this, what is annually, semi-annually, quarterly, all these things we'll do today. But remember, this is the formula. This is very, very important. And there is a lot of confusion when student starts for the first time. So that is something you need to be careful if you are doing for the first time. IP divided by P, that is the interest rate. So this is what I'll talk today mostly, and I'll clear the concept. Okay, I'm going a bit slow so that it will not create any problem to the newbies. However, those who studied, for them, it could be quite easy. In any case, let's go ahead. So I'll discuss about this formula in today's class. And then from the next class, we'll do annuities and more of uh, the interest rates. Interest rate in the sense, I can say the compound interest rate and the force of interest as well. I think a lot of students, they ask force of interest. So those things we'll discuss. So when I taught you here, I didn't share my screen. So I have to start once again. This formula we'll do today. Now, now this is my number line. And here I'll write 0. And here I'll write 5. You write 0 here. And you write 5 here. I'm talking about 5 years. So if you deposit some amount here, suppose you deposit 250 here. If you find the value here, it will be 250 multiplied by 1 plus I power 5. This is the formula. This is the simple formula. So when I talk about I is the rate of interest, the annual rate of interest. We normally say effective rate of interest here. So I'll write here, the diagram is very, very important. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, after 5 years. So remember, when we say 250 will grow to 250 multiplied by 1 plus I power 5. I is the interest rate per period. Here period is 1 year. Okay, let me write here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you deposit any amount A here, instead of 250, it will grow to A multiplied by 1 plus I power 5. So if you want, you can write I here. I is the rate of interest. I is called here effective rate of interest per annum. Whatever you study and whatever topic you study from CM1 or from any subject you are doing, the interest rate definitely that will play a role, right? So though it's very, very simple, you have to know the formulas. Now, let me go down. Here my period is 1 year. What if my period is half year? I have to write everything here. Okay. So what if my period is half year? Now let me draw the same diagram. And here another diagram, the vertical line. So let me write here I, then we have I2 divided by 2. And again, for the new students, I2 is not I square. This is a symbol. You can write I dash also. This will be I4 divided by 4. These are the interest rates. This is 1 year interest rate I. This is half year interest rate I2 divided by 2. This is quarter interest rate I4 divided by 4. That way it will go. Now if you see here, I've written here 0. I've written here 2, half, 1. If you deposit 1 here, now we have 1 period. Period interest rate is I2 by 2. This is a symbol. Another period interest rate is I2 by 2. So what will happen is at the end you will get 1 plus I2 divided by 2 square, because these are the two periods, 1 here, 1 here. 2 periods, power is 2. An amount, if you make it 10 or 105, it will be 105. Amount will be here, and the number of periods will be here, the power. And interest rate, because this is half year interest rate is always I2 by 2. I can write here. This is half year interest rate. If you have any doubt, you are new, remember, this will come once again. I'll come to this, why this is I4 divided by 4. This is by design. This is quarter interest rate, and this is 1 year interest rate. Okay. So these are the interest rates: 1 year interest rate, half year interest rate, quarter interest rate, 1 day interest rate, half day interest rate, 1 minute interest rate, 1 second interest rate, then 1 millisecond also you can go. Then you have to go to delta, the interest rate that is compounded or that is convertible every moment. Now I'm not going to that. That will come other line, because these are the two. Let me write here for comparison. So these are the ones you need to use. For example, I'll write another one here, another line here, and let me write once again. Suppose same 1 year I have, but they are compounded quarterly. This is 1 quarter. This is the second quarter, 2 by 4. This is the third quarter, and this is the fourth quarter. Then if I deposit 250 here, I'll write 250 here. 1 plus it will be there. Then what will happen? This quarter interest rate, as I showed you here, that is I4 divided by 4. If you want, you can write here I4 by 4, I4 by 4, I4 by 4. So you have to write power 4. I4 divided by 4 power 4. That's all. So let me write the complete formula here. If you deposit A amount, after n years, it will grow to A multiplied by 1 plus, it depends how many periods you have, IP divided by P power P. This is the formula. So I've taken P here. I mean, this total I've taken 1 here. If you deposit amount, suppose here A, it will grow to after 1 year, this after 1 year. If you take 2 years, accordingly you have to manage. That's all. I'll show you now how you can manage 2 years. But P can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 365, 12, whatever. I mean, you can take a lot of values per P. But if you deposit this here, let me take this one. It looks odd. So what we'll do is we'll copy this. We'll paste here. Okay. It's like this. If you deposit A here, Yeah, because this platform is also new, that creates a little bit problem. No worries. This is only first class. We have a long way to go, and definitely we'll go to the place where I know students, they have a lot of doubts. CM1 is quite important. People say data scientist, but they don't know how to model, how to price a policy, how to apply mortality. All these things that will come in part two. Even in part one also, you will study loan schedule. From there, you might get a very long question. Pricing a bond, pricing a property, pricing a share. Immunization is a very, very important chapter. You might get a very long question as well. And of course, the implementation is there in part B, the Excel implementation. Everything will do. Coming to this one, this is the first formula. Okay, I spent some time. This is the first formula. If you deposit A, after 1 year, A will grow to this. So this formula, if you know, then you can go from here. I know when I taught long before these formulas, students asked me why IP by P, why not IP? As I already mentioned you, that is by design. Okay, let me uh, erase this one as well. This. Okay, now this is clean. So if you deposit A here, after 1 year, it will be A multiplied by 1 plus IP by P. Okay, I'm spending a lot of time here. I know this is the first class. I'm also learning how to teach in this way, YouTube live, and also this Excel draw. I didn't know. Okay, so I thought, I mean, probably this will help a lot because a lot of diagrams, the squares and all that will be needing. And remember, when it comes to actual science examination, they will test you. They will test your concept. They will test you how you can apply your concept to a problem. So definitely, conceptually, you must be very, very strong. Not only to pass the paper, you need to solve a lot of problems like pen to problem. That's another thing, around 300, 400 problems. Apart from that also, when you work in the company, if you don't develop the concepts, you are nothing, even if you clear the paper. So both are important. Developing the concept and also applying those concepts in the real world problems, not only the exam. Exam to that is there. That is the first step for you. You have to clear. You have to clear the paper, pass the paper. Your confidence will be sky high if you clear only a single paper. Okay. But yeah, that's a separate thing. I'm not going to that part now, how to appear the paper. This is the single formula I wanted to discuss in today's class. I will not go ahead and teach a lot of things today. I will focus on this formula. Now, the second part of this formula. This is quite important. Let me write here. I talked about I2 divided by 2, I4 divided by 4, I12 divided by 12, all this. These are the ones I already showed you. Probably I2, I4, not I12. I12 is also a nominal. These are not interest rates. This is the interest rate, but others are not interest rates. This is an interest rate. Okay. But these are not interest rates. Okay. So interest rates will come here. Interest rates will come here. This is one interest rate. This is one interest rate. This is one interest rate. These are the interest rates. Again, if you are new, in some time, you will get clarity. Just remember, these are the symbols and symbols by design. This is interest rate. This is half year interest rate. I2 divided by 2. Okay, let me write half year. This is half year interest rate. I can write I4 divided by 4. This is quarter interest rate. These are the actuarial symbols, you can say. And this is I12 divided by 12. This is 1 month interest rate. Okay. When I say interest rate, this is effective rate of interest. 1 month effective rate of interest. What about I? You can write I1 divided by 1, not a problem if you want. This is 1 year interest rate. So what are these? What are these? Even if you don't worry about this, it's fine. However, there are names, and sometimes they will give you this, sometimes they will give you this. Okay. So this is convertible. After conversion, you will get all this. After conversion, you will get all this. Before conversion, you have these. Okay. So these are convertible before conversion, and these are after conversion. So as I already mentioned you, this is not the interest rate. So there is a name also for this. This is called nominal rate. Okay. These are all per annum. Remember, per annum. So this is nominal rate of interest per annum. I don't know why it's not allowing me to further. Uh, is it allowed here? Seven, some number. Achha, 7 means 7. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll do something next time. So this is nominal rate of interest. So what students do is when they start, they write nominal rate of interest convertible half yearly, which is wrong. Nominal rate of interest convertible. If you are doing from SOA, this is compounded half yearly. Here it's convertible half yearly. That is the only difference. Here this is nominal rate of interest, nominal rate of interest, convertible quarterly. This is nominal rate of interest, convertible monthly. Okay. So these are all the nominal rate of interest. They are convertible. But the important point you need to note here is per annum. This is per annum. This is per annum. This is per annum. This is per annum. I've already written here. This is per annum. Okay. So all are annual interest rates per annum. But this is annual effective rate of interest. And these are not effective rate of interest, they are nominal rate of interest, because they are not interest rates. No, they are not per annum interest rates, they are nominal interest rates. They will become interest rate after conversion. So that's why we say nominal rate of interest per annum convertible. Nominal rate of interest per annum convertible quarterly. That means you will get a quarter interest rate from here. You will get here monthly interest rate from here. You will get half yearly interest rate from here. If you get, I mean, 1 year, this is 1 year anyway. So what is the benefit of these symbols? Because if you remember, in standard 8th also, you must have studied all these. However, the formulas were not there. As I already mentioned you, these are specific to actuarial science and some other area also they're using, but mostly actuarial science. Okay. These are the actuarial symbols. So what is the benefit of this? 100 problems you were doing before in 10th class or 8th class, those 100 problems you can do with one formula. Okay. So how it's possible, that I will take you through. Before that, you have to complete this. Let me go ahead here. Then you go to 1 day interest rate. I 365 divided by 365. This is 1 day interest rate, but not effective. This is nominal. Nominal rate of interest per annum, again convertible each day. This is I 365 divided by 365. This is, I can write daily interest rate. Okay. So that way I'm able to write the interest rates for 1 year, for half year, for quarter, for a month, for a day, for 1 hour also I can write. Okay. You divide by, multiply by 24, 60, 60, whatever. I mean, you can go up to second, half a second, millisecond, whatever. You can go this way. So what will happen is, when this will go this way, a time will come when this will be continuous. In that case, what will happen? This will be delta. So delta is here, but you can't write anything here. Again, this is where you need to differentiate. See, all the statistical models, any statistical model in the world they're using, there are only two sources. you must be knowing. Okay, I'm not introducing that here because I'm not teaching CS1 or CS2. Either you have to start with a random variable or a stochastic process or a random process, you say. Okay, even your reinforcement learning, your AI, chat GPT, everywhere those things are used. Stochastic process, okay, random process, random variable, random process. So you study mathematics, you study actual science, you study statistics, you study data science. Remember, there is a concept of continuous mathematics and discrete mathematics. There also in CS1, CS2, you have continuous and discrete part, continuous random variable, discrete random variable. In stochastic process also, you will come across continuous discrete. Here also, you will come across continuous and discrete. Okay, in part 2, mostly in part 1 also here. See, this is continuous rate of interest. Mostly, people say this is one moment interest rate. It's not. It's not. Okay. If you take I'll tell you the conversion later. If you take I 10%, delta will be 9.53% approximately. You can calculate. There is a formula. I'll go to this one later. I've recorded videos always. I mean, already you can go through that. But you see, this is so close. This is so close to 10%. How it can be one moment interest rate? It's not one moment interest rate. See, these are all convertible. Okay, this is also convertible, but you can never convert. So unfortunately, this is not there. Okay, हमारे पास ये है ही नहीं, मतलब हम कर नहीं सकते, ठीक है ना? So that means we can never do this one. Okay, remember, we can never find this. You can never find 1 second interest rate. You can never find 1 second interest. This is a very conceptual one, remember. Because again, it will come again and again. In part 2 also, when you talk about mortality, instant mortality, there is nothing called instant mortality. Okay. You go through the definition if you studied already. So you can find this. Then how we manage continuous mathematics? That's where we have a concept of density function in CS1. If you remember, distribution density. And in same one also, yes, we'll use this one. I'll give you one analogy here, but yes, this is nominal rate of interest per annum, convertible every moment, but you can't convert. You can't convert. It's like if someone will ask me at what speed you are driving, suppose I'm driving by a car, I will say I'm driving at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. What was the question? The question was this. Let me write here because this is so important. So what I'll do is, suppose I'm driving here. Okay, I'm driving here, and I got a call, and someone is asking at what speed you are driving. That means he wants to know the velocity here at this point, exact this point. Okay, suppose this is 6:41 p.m. At what speed I'm driving here? What answer I'm giving? I'm driving at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. See, I'm unable to say now at this instant. I'm unable to say, right? I'm using kilometers per hour. Okay, kilometers per hour. Let me write H here. That means I'm saying, my friend, I'm unable to answer at this instant what is the speed I'm traveling. However, if I continue to travel at that same speed, then I will cover 40 kilometers in 1 hour. That means I am answering hourly because I'm unable to say the instant, I mean, at this instant, what is the, at what speed I'm traveling. Are you getting? So we need the help of an interval. So that's where, again, remember, this is there for CS1, CS2, data scientist, for actual sense, everywhere. Either you have to complete everything point by point, or random variable, don't think it's not required for CM1. Okay. If you don't know random variable, you can study part 2 of CM1. So see, point by point, you complete, or line. Line, how can you complete? If you try to complete point by point, there are infinite number of points. You will not be able to do that. Okay, so what you do is you take interval by interval. Okay, there is nothing called point concept in continuous mathematics. See, this is one interval, this is one interval, this is one interval. That way only you have to complete. So like I said you, I am traveling at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. Delta. Delta is the force of interest. That means delta is the nominal rate of interest per annum, convertible every moment, but we can't convert. It's exactly like saying I'm driving at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. Okay. So even in statistics, okay, this one will use in part 2 here. I mean, you can say CS1. Suppose you have numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4. What we do is we write probability between x1 to 2 in case of continuous random variable. Remember, we never write probability x is 2, x is 3 because point by point you can do. Here also there is a chance. Okay, if it's uniform, you can write 1 by 3. X between you can write 2 to 3. This way we handle continuous mathematics. How you handle discrete mathematics? Point wise. Probability that x is equal to 1. Here probability that x is equal to 2. That way. So similar to CS1 here. Here what we do is we manage the interest rates starting from 1 year. 1 year interest rate I've already written, that is I. Then half year. Then quarter interest rate. This is half year. This is quarter interest rate. So what is conversion? You just divide by 4. Then 1 day interest rate, that way. And finally, these are all discrete and continuous equivalent of this, that is delta. And equivalent to these things, you can say this is your continuous discrete one and this is your continuous one. Okay. Now we'll go to 2 years. So I wrote 1 year interest rate, that is I. Then half year interest rate I2 by 2. Then quarter interest rate I4 by 4. Then this side will go. Okay. So even we'll write I half divided by half for 2 year interest rate. This is 2 year interest rate. This is quarter interest rate. Okay. Interpretation also possible. If you want, I can explain, but you think on this. This is 3 year interest rate. 1 by 3 divided by 1 by 3. See, basically you remember IPs are all, I mean, very close. I2, I4, I3. So that means if you divide by 3, 3 are multiplied, so it will be around 3i, right? So 3 are interested. It will be around 2i because I half is close to I. I half by half is 2 year, or I2 by 2 is half year. But what about I2? I2 is very close to I. I4 is very close to I. Okay, why this came? Now, why this came? Let me take you through this example. I know that we are at a very basic level, but it doesn't matter because I'm starting for the new students. Yeah, I'll spend some time. Let's not worry. So how it goes, suppose I deposit some amount like 500 here and it crosses that one mark. Okay. This is 1 and this is 2. And I want to use that symbol. So I can write 1 plus how many here? 1, 2. So I'll write power 2. What is the interest rate here? Interest rate is, because I've written 1 year I. So I'll write I. Okay. That we know already. How about this? Suppose I will go to 2 years. The period is 2 years. Then what will happen? I will not change it to 4 because if I write I here, it will change to 4. But I will not change it to 4 because I've taken already 2 periods. You count 1, 2. So 2 will be there. If you write 2 here, you have to change this I half divided by half. That means the 2 year interest rate is I half divided by half. I half divided by half means you are dividing by half means you are multiplying by 2. It's increasing, not decreasing, right? And IPs are equal. All IPs are equal. I half, I1 by 3, I2, I3, I4, all are equal. So that this is the symbol you need to remember. So why this came? suppose also, before going this, you remember, if I is 10%, then I2 is, or I2 by 2 half year interest rate is 4.88%. This you need to remember. And I4 by 4, this is quarter interest, this is 2.41%. How can you find all this? We'll do here. How can you find all this? First of all, remember this formula. This is so important. Uh, this is so important. Without this formula, you can't study CM1. Okay. So this is a very, very important formula. And this is an infinite board also. If I lose by chance, I'll not get it once again. Oh, that's great. So there is a way. Scroll back to your content. Whatever I'm teaching now, for this also we can use. If I upload, I can get all the notes. You need not worry. The notes will get, but yes, we lost somewhere, no problem. So here, let me draw once again. If you deposit 100 here, after 1 year, you get 100, 1.10. I is 10%. Again, most those who start for the first time, what they do is they misinterpret I. Again, let me tell you, I is the interest rate per unit amount of money deposited, not for 100. Okay. That means I is 0.10. I is 0.10. If 10%, 0.10, because I is 10% per 100, 10 per 100, but per one it's 0.10, 10 paisa. If you deposit £1, you will get 10 penny, right? 10 paisa, 1 rupee, 10 paisa that way in India, INR. So I is actually, what is per annum interest rate? Per annum interest rate is not I here, 100 I%. Here in actual science, 100 I% is equivalent to your R. In arithmetic, whatever R we are using, here 100 I% we are using. Percent means 100 I. Because I is the interest rate per unit amount. Anyway, that's a conceptual. But here if you find half year, because you are compounding, okay, 0, half, 1, what will happen is you will not get 105. If this is 100, this is 110, this is not 105 because it's not uniform. It's not your simple interest rate. So what will happen is from here to here, it will go this way, 104.88. So if you see the interest, the increment, the interest rate is 4.88. From here, again 4.88. You can calculate at 4.88% interest rate, this will grow to this. Okay. If you want, you can check that one. If you want, you can check that one. Okay. So half year interest rate is 4.88%. So that way, this single formula we'll use. I'll show you that formula. This single formula, this is the conversion formula, 1 plus I power P, and I will complete to this class. Okay. I wanted to teach you only this formula. How can you make use of this formula? Okay, let me go here. Now, suppose, let me write this as a question. So small. Let me write I given 10%. And how can you find half year interest rate? Find half year interest rate. This is a question. This is the first class question. What is find, what is half year interest rate means I2 by 2. How can you find? For that, you can use this formula. Okay. So what you can write is 1 plus I is equal to, there is a derivation. Okay. You have to do it if you are doing for the first time, 1 plus IP by P power P. But yeah, I'm not going through that. If you have any doubt, you can always ask me. How you can contact me. Okay. I'll give my number. You can WhatsApp me for any of your doubt. I have a group also. I have a school group. You can join there. You will get all the whatever you want, all those requirements from time to time we provide. And you can WhatsApp. You can whatever way possible. You can email. You can on LinkedIn. You can give a message. Okay. So I'm teaching data science, actual science, and AI all presently. So whatever problem you have, whatever you study doesn't matter. Whatever doubt you have, you can always ask. Okay. So 1 plus I2 divided by 2 power 2, you write here. So if I is 10%, how can you find I2 divided by 2? So here for that, you have to apply this formula. This formula came from this. 1 plus I is 1 plus IP by P power P. So if you use this formula, you will get I2 by 2. How? You just write 1 plus I power half here. This 2 you can take this side minus 1. This will be I2 divided by 2. It's so simple. And this is 1.10 power half minus 1. That is actually I2 by 2. And this is in turn, this will be, uh, sorry, this will be 1 point I2 by 2. Let me write this one here, I2 by 2. And that is equal to 0.0488. Okay, you can calculate this one. That means it's 4.88%. This way you have to write. So if you can find I2 by 2 from I, you can find I4 by 4 also. You have to apply the same formula, this formula. You can apply I365 divided by 365 because right 365 you will get this. You can find I half by half divided by half. That is 2-year interest rate. All interest rates you can get from using this single formula. There is no problem at all. Okay. This is done. Next. Next one is, what I will do is I will give you all the ways you can use number line. See, knowing number line is very, very important here because later when you go to the high stage, without using a number line, you will not be able to solve a problem. Okay. Number line is very, very important here, particularly in part 1. Now, here I'm writing so that it will not create problem later. Even if there are few students I know, but this video will be saved. Okay, anyone, any new student can come and watch. So here I'm writing 0, here I'm writing half, here I'm writing 1. Even I could have started with 1 year as well. Okay, so I'll write 0 here, 1 here. So if you write 1 here or you deposit A, it will grow to 1 plus I. What about this? If you deposit A, this will be A multiplied by 1 plus I half power, sorry, I2 by 2. See, this is one period. These are 2 periods. 1, 2. 2 periods. 2 periods. So power 2. What is the interest rate per period? I2 by 2. Half year interest rate. What is the interest for this period? I. This is I2 by 2. I2 by 2. Similarly, here, this will be, you can write here, here, all this. Here you write, here you write, here power 1, power 2, power 1, power 2, power 3, power 4. 1 plus I4 divided by 4 power 4. If I write it, 1 by 4, 2 by 4, 3 by 4, 4 by 4. These are 4. Okay. So that way you will get a multiplied by 1 plus I power by 4 power 4. Even you can extend this one. Even you can extend this one. What will happen is if you extend this one, it will go this way. And here you can write 1. I mean, after 1, it will be 1 by 4. That will be a multiplied by 1 plus I 4 divided by 4 power 5. You can continue this way. So what we are doing is, we are going quarterly. Suppose there are 3 banks in your locality, and one bank is giving you 10% per annum interest rate, compounded yearly if you want to deposit for 5 years. Another bank is 4.88% half yearly, they are compounding. They will compound more times. You will get the same amount. It's like this. If someone is compounding yearly and you need to deposit for 5 years, if someone is compounding half yearly, they are compounding 10 times here for 5 years, they will compound 10 times. Doesn't matter if they provide the equivalent. I mean, because this is not exact 4.88%, so there will be a little bit difference. Otherwise, you should get the same. These are the equivalents. Okay. So what you need to do is, you need to know IP by P. Remember, when I talk about interest rate, there are 3 things you need to remember. Interest rates. I'm talking about compound interest rates, not simple. IP by P, and then delta. So I talked about IP by P by today. Okay. Then we'll do delta also, I and IP by P. Similarly, you will get D and DP by P. Before going to D, I'll introduce the present value concept today, and we'll do more in the next class. Now, these are the 2 things. Because this is the first class, probably a class or 2 I'll teach. After that, you can start asking doubts. I know, I mean, most of them, they must have studied by now. But yes, still, if you have any doubt, you can always ask. Suppose you are talking about 5 years, and you deposit A, it goes to A multiplied by 1 plus I power 5. Now, if you have amount B here, suppose this is 2031, this is 2026. You want to get this amount after 5 years. And you want to know what is the present value in the opposite way, not in this way, but in the opposite way. Then how much you deposit, how much you need to deposit here, so that that will grow to B. Of course, it's very simple. You can apply logic. Even if you are new, this should be B divided, A divided by, because B I've written, this should be B divided by 1 plus I power 5. When you are going forward, you are multiplying. When you are coming backwards, you need to divide. However, we have a symbol here in actual science. We take 1 divided by 1 plus I, 1 upon 1 plus I. So in that way, it will be B V power 5. This is the present value. So we have a concept of future value, we have a concept of present value. In present value, normally we use V. So we have a lot of problems. So I didn't do problem because this is the first class. I'll share with you. I have quizzes, I have infographics. As I already mentioned you, I have slide deck for this interest rate. So all those resources I'll send you. See, this is the sample. So I generated all this from my videos, my past videos, because this is how now AI, generative AI, this gives, see, I've written here annually this interest rate. I already discussed with you this one. This 4.88, and this one 4.88, and this one also, let me write here 2.41%. This is quarter interest rate. 4 quarters are there, 2 half years are there, 1 10-year 10% is there. So Gemini, this is notebook LM. So automatically, if you give a link, okay, whatever you must have taught in I mean, whatever is there in the video, if you taught somewhere, that automatically they extract and they will give you this infographic. So here if you see a multiplied by 1 plus I power n, it grows like this. This is your compound interest rate. However, this is your simple interest rate, uniform growth. If you deposit, suppose this amount, slowly it grows. It grows in a straight line. It grows in a curved line. Okay, that is the power of compounding. You must be knowing. So the key difference is how n time is used. I just went through once whether it's true or not, because this is generative AI. It can generate text, it can generate video, it can generate infographics, it can generate music, all those things, right? So it's generating from content. So there's a chance of error because this is probability. Remember, ChatGPT answers are probabilistic. These are not 100% surety. You can take it as it is. You need to verify. So yeah, there might be little bit mistake also, but yes, mostly, I mean, I got this space correctly, and this is what I wanted to teach you in today's class, not more than that. I know I wanted to test myself because, as I already said you, this is my first class, my first live class. Okay, let me stop sharing. Yep, this is my first live class, and also this is the first class where I'm using Excel Draw. And yes, I had to come live so that everyone who wanted me, who wanted to join with me, they can join. Instead of a Zoom class, I thought I'll directly give you this one. Although this is streaming through Zoom, that's a separate thing. But yes, no link is required. All the time you can, wherever you want, you can watch. The recording will be saved automatically, and I will also save a lot of time, because previously what happened, whenever I gave a class, I edited. Okay, a lot of work I did, but these days, because I'm doing a whole lot of things, I don't have time. So even if you are not new, you don't require, that's fine. But definitely every class, if you watch, you can watch at 1.5 or 2 speed, because these are live classes. These will be slow. Definitely will get some value. So see you next time, because we'll continue for 45 days. 45 days again. There is a clarification. Let me give you. 45 days when planned. I planned 45 days because you have that much of time. Okay. If I extend, it could be 90 days also. But yes, if you can't complete the course by the end of February, so that means it will be a little bit tough on your part, because you might be studying in school, college, or maybe any university, or you might be working somewhere. So you don't have a lot of time, right, to spend totally towards a paper. So, but actual papers are considered, bit tough. Tough in the sense you are not going to Mars, but then, yes, with a single paper, CM1 like a paper, you'll be able to work throughout life. Can you imagine the importance of this paper? Life insurance pricing, reserving, modeling, and what not. Even after clearing one paper, people are getting handsome amount. Can you imagine India, 140 crores people, 1.4 billion. Okay, getting a job so difficult after clearing one or two couple of actual papers. Even I taught many, they didn't clear a paper, they got jobs. Okay, after a couple of papers, you can get handsome salary. So that's the benefit. So keep it that in mind, and just go ahead. I mean, why not? You'll clear, you pass with high marks. So this is the first class. This is the testing time for me. I have another class at 7:30. I introduced two papers. uh, I'm giving you I'm giving classes for other papers as well, CS on all those, but not live. Okay, they're the normal ways, whatever way I teach. But yes, CM1 and CS2, these are the two papers I will run live. Okay, thank you a lot. We'll